At Bianchi Honda, we want to exceed your expectations for customer service. From our gorgeous showroom and accommodating staff to our extraordinary selection of Honda vehicles and industry-leading service department. Your vehicle should be the best choice for you, and you can find it here at Bianchi Honda. I'm Jason Perico, and I promise to always make it worth a visit.
Time now for the Gannon Golden Knights Coaches Show, joined now by head coach of the Gannon Golden Knights, Brad Rzyczycki. What's up, Coach?
Good. How are you, buddy?
Doing well, doing well. You're coming off a game against Clarion. It had to be a battle looking at the score here, and you won a lot of these categories in the box score.
Yeah, I think we've done this 3 times where we've lost a game and we've won every statistic except for the scoreboard. And, you know, I don't know that that's a product of a young team. We've got to finish some drives off and not have some costly turnovers. But I think Saturday came down to, you know, we had 3 turnovers and they had 2. And they had 17 points off of theirs and we had 14 off of ours. And you can't turn the ball over. But it was a pretty evenly matched game. But it was what it was. We won a lot of categories. There was a lot of good in the game, but we've got to finish this thing off and score more points in the end. The
first half virtually even, but you guys came out blazing, it seems. You went out to a 14-3 lead.
Yeah, we got off the bus and played well in the first half. It's something we've emphasized the entire year because we hadn't done it that well the entire year. And when we play well in the first half, normally we handle our business in the second half. But yeah, I was proud of the way the kids came out, you know, especially because we had to wake up early. I think the bus left at 6:50 in the morning, so we had to go get something to eat before the game. So it was a long day previous to the game, playing at noon down there. So they were awake, they were ready to go, and they came out and fired and played well that first half.
Clarion kind of reminds me, at least from this vantage point, of your team. Would you agree with that at all? Or?
Somewhat. You know, I think it's really important. They have some experienced kids in important positions,
okay.
One being the quarterback position. Their kid, Connor Simmons, has been doing it for the last couple of years for him. He's really good. He sees what he needs to see. And number 7 and number 8 are the two of the better receivers we see. And it was basically came down to those guys making plays in the end, and they've done it for a long time. With their RPO, their run pass option stuff. So they're really talented, and they have some experience in some places I think you really need to be experienced to be successful, and those kids made plays on Saturday.
So then the third quarter, again, pretty even. It wasn't until the fourth you end up down 10, and even still it seemed that, down 10 going into the final quarter, but even still it seemed that one play would have changed everything for Gannon.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're waiting for that catalyst in the second half part of it. And our kids went out there trying. You know, we had some injuries that we came into the game with. We had to play some kids we weren't normally playing again. We traveled 2 corners down there on Saturday. Our actual backup corner was Tyler Palka, our backup quarterback, if someone got hurt. So that kind of lets you know where we're at from an injury standpoint. And then we lost Max Onier in the first quarter off of 2 unsportsmanlike penalty calls that, you know, I kind of disagreed with. But you know, so we were down from that standpoint, but the kids persevered. We had some kids had to play some different positions that they weren't normally playing and went out there, didn't complain, and tried. For at this point in the season, when you're looking at our team and how young and inexperienced, you just want the effort from the kids. And I thought, you know, I walked in there Sunday morning talking to the team, said, guys, we played hard. And there's no question about it. We left it all out there. There was no quit in our football team, and that's what you're looking forward moving forward. And the bright spot of the day, you know, one of the best stats that since I've been a head coach, and this is my 5th season, that's ever happened for me being a head football coach is the leading tackler in Gannon's history is Mike Zanders. And I couldn't be more proud of a kid. When we recruited him, he was undersized. He wasn't physical enough. There was all these intangibles we listened to. And now we brought him up here from Charlotte, North Carolina, and I got to talk to the dad and the mom and the kid. And I sat down there and, you know, I'm saying there's a lot of good in this kid. And he has only persevered in this program. He's one of the most toughest physical kids I've ever met. And he's broken whatever barrier or stereotypes he came in about not being a physical player. He's one of the toughest guys I've ever coached. And to get that record, you know, is awesome. And I was so happy for that kid because he's worked his tail off for it. And it's hard to leave out as the leading tackler in any program's history, especially one that's been around for a while like Gannon's has. So I was happy for Mike Zanders on that day. You know, I told him, I gave him a hug, told him I loved him, and said, yeah, I couldn't be any prouder than you.
Did he jump around from position to position for you this season like everybody else seemed to? Or?
No. We kind of rebuilt, I don't want to say rebuilt the defense. We're a 3-3 stack, but we put Mike in a position where he was he should have been the unblocked player a lot because he tackles so well, just because that's what he does. And it's worked out. But teams have schemed to find out ways not to have 31 be a part of tackling early on, and we've had to move some things around just where we're calling, our fits from our backer standpoint and be able to filter the ball back to Mike. But he always has ability to find the ball, and that's the one thing about Mike. He's got a nose for it.
Let's stay on that track. You've got some other seniors. This weekend will be senior night, so do you want to say anything about the seniors on your team?
No, there's been really good leadership with these guys. There's not a ton of them. Where last year we had 18 of them. This year we're going to walk out 9, and there's some significant contributors. But the biggest part about this group that I have, they've done a great job of setting the pace and showing these other guys, what it takes to get through a season, how mentally tough you have to be. They've policed a lot of the little things that are happening in our program. I couldn't say enough about the kids, from a leadership standpoint, what these seniors have done for this program to this point. I'm really proud of them. I mean, like the captains like Tyler and Matt Golick and Quad and Mike Zanders we talked about have done such a good job of just handling the locker room, showing the young kids that are on the field, these are the things that you're going to have to do because experience wasn't there and we're relatively young. I mean, we look at the recruiting part of it, we're not going to be old next year. We're going to have a limited amount of seniors from that standpoint. So not only did they have to go out and perform and do the things they had to do, they had to lead this football team in the locker room, which is not always an easy task for the different things that come up during the course of the season. But these guys I'm extremely proud of. I know maybe the record is not what they want it to be, but effort's never been an issue. They've done a great job from a leadership standpoint, and every one of those kids have done great things in this program. I'm extremely proud of them. They'll all get a degree walking out of here, which is my most concern with the kids. So I'm proud of those guys, and obviously it's going to be fun to be able to give them the credit they deserve on Saturday.
Coach Brad Rzyczycki, from day one you said that this team is coachable. I think that comes down from your seniors. So special group, they'll be celebrated this weekend. You've got Millersville coming up. Let's talk Millersville real quick. What's a quick breakdown of that team? Well,
we spent a lot of time this week going against ourselves, like offense and defense, just to get the team speed part of it. Because Millersville gives you some complex things schematically on both sides of the ball. I know offensively, they have some same concepts from game to game, but they don't run the same stuff. So it's kind of, we're going to have to see what they give us when we get to Saturday. They've played some 3-3 teams in the past, like Lockhaven and East Stroudsburg, but they had somewhat different game plans going into each one of them. So, we're going to get out there and have to see what they're doing to attack our 3-3 and where they're thinking our vulnerabilities are. But they've got some talented kids on offense. They've been in every game that they've played this year for the most part. And, we're going to have to figure out what they're doing from the offensive standpoint. And then defensively, they load the box up. One thing is our Achilles heel right now is being able to throw the ball consistently down the field, and we're going to have to do it Saturday if they stuff 7 people in the box and 8 people in the box during the course of the game and play cover 0. So we're going to have to execute on Saturday. There's no question about it. They have 2 quarterbacks that play, 15 and 17. 15 is a senior, 17 is a redshirt freshman. Both give you problems. 17 really concerns us about getting out of the pocket and running because, that's been a little bit of our issue this year too with the IUP kid and some other guys. So, we've got some things to work on, but we wanted to concentrate and focus on game speed this week. So we've kind of went against each other a lot more than dealt with Millersville schemes.
Good stuff. We'll look forward to that this weekend. I was hoping you could give me maybe even just a rough timeline of recruiting, some dates that you're looking at as a coach, and also what happens throughout the regular season. I know you'll host some kids throughout the year to check out the team, check out some games, but just give us an idea of recruiting at this phase, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
Yeah, I spend 2 or 3 hours a day, 7 days a week with my recruiting coordinator right now of trying to find those small holes because we don't graduate a lot, so we're not going to bring a ton of kids in, pending we retain the majority of the team that we have right now. So we have certain holes to fill from the seniors that are going to graduate if we don't have depth at that position already. So you're looking at maybe some bounce back, some kids that already have some playing experience in college. And then obviously we're knee deep into the high school kid. But that's happened all season, even in the summer and everything else. And now it's just, if we have to fly a kid in, we're looking at flights to get him in relatively soon. If it's a kid that's leaving another university or a junior college player. And then we're filtering our way of, where we're going to be on the road, addressing specific needs that we need for our team right now. I don't know that we're going to have this. Normally we go into an off season of we're going to recruit every position and take the best available. Right now, we don't need every position. We've got 79 kids coming back into the program for next year. So it's our job to develop the kids, more importantly, that we have on the team right now, and then fill the holes that we think from a too deep standpoint on both offense and defense that we have to with maybe some kids that have some college playing experience. So, Alex, I deal with recruiting more than I deal with football, all the X's and O's right now. And that's part of my job as a head football coach. I got to trust my coordinators to get this thing done on Saturdays and be involved as much as I can, but we've got to have the kids to go out there and play too.
Good stuff. Millersville this weekend, it'll be senior night. He's head coach Brad Rzyczycki. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.